What's up, guys? So judging by the comments, a ton of y'all are super excited for the new 6-liter build, myself included. I've already got a ton of parts ordered and I can't wait for them to start showing up. But you see the title and thumbnail, this is an extremely important step that you do not need to miss after buying a new to you vehicle, especially if it's like this truck being a 2004. This thing is 20 years old now, so we really want to get our hands and eyes on every square inch of this thing and just check it out. That way we know what's been replaced, what hasn't, what needs to be, and get some fresh fluids in it as well. Because even if the previous owner said they recently did an oil change or something, and maybe the oil even looks good like it does in this case, I just want to go ahead and change it just so I can get on a regular schedule, write it down, and have proof that, hey, it was changed here. So in 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, however many you want to change your oil at, you'll know exactly when to do it, as well as other things like coolant, diff fluid, those kind of things. You really want to go through there and see how the levels are. So we're going to be tackling that today, as well as jacking the truck up, getting underneath it, seeing if we find anything loose, anything problematic. We've already done the number one step when buying a new truck in the last video, and that is scrubbing the crap out of it, because until you get your hands on it and get it spit shine to your liking, it's just not yours. But we did get that knocked out, and you might have seen in the third clip at the beginning of this, we already went to the DMV because I was going to go ahead and get a tag for it. I got insurance. There was like 20 people there, and your boy ain't waiting today. We'll go next week. We just got back from driving, so it's nice and hot. I guess we should start with the oil change. Go ahead and remove our oil fill cap. And then quite possibly the longest dipstick on planet Earth. Now we got a 19 mil drain plug. Good gosh, that sucker was on there. And we will be draining oil for quite a while, being as this has a 15 quart capacity, which is pretty wild. Well, that wasn't as smooth as we wanted. Please, what is clogging? Please drain. Drain faster, please. I don't even want to look. I'm gonna roll out. If it overflows, it just does. Now we got a 36 mil for the oil filter housing. Twist this guy free. And you want the OEM Ford one, and get a OEM Ford filter. Do not skimp with this truck on that. Pick her up. Let it drain out. You probably can hear it down below dumping a lot more oil out. So that's why you want to leave your lower drain bolt out while you remove this. Remove it from the truck nice and swiftly, like this. Like I said, make sure you get the genuine Ford Motorcraft filter. There's your part number. I'll have a link to the oil and the filter in the description. It's on Amazon for cheaper than you can get it at the parts store. This is going to be about a $100 oil change, but I've already got the old filter off, cleaned up this. So now we're just going to press this guy into place, just like that. And then we want to take our old O-ring off and put the new one that comes with the filter on. Take some new engine oil, get that nice and slicked up so it doesn't stick going back on. It'll seal properly. And now we are ready to go ahead and throw our drain plug back in, start adding oil. Got a prime example of why it's so important to do what we are doing today, because if you've heard me talk about this truck, you heard me say that it doesn't ride down back roads very good. And I just found probably the number one reason why. So if we crawl under here, you'll see right here on the passenger side, your sway bar end link, a nice bushing right there. And then on the driver's side, the bushing is gone. And this is one of the few trucks that we're actually going to add oil directly into here, because it's a lot easier to dump it all into here instead of the fill tube. So going to take 15 quarts. Let's try not to spill this. Oh, just a little bit. We're good. I'd probably go ahead and put a majority in here, but the wind's blowing like crazy and I don't want any pollen and debris getting into it. So we're going to go ahead and just throw our new filter in here. Definitely don't have the appropriate funnel, but it'll do the job. And we're using the Rotella T4, which is the standard oil. This is non-synthetic, 1540. This is what the previous owner said that he's always used, and so we're going to continue the trend. I took one of our used bottles and put 2 quarts from the last gallon in here, so we're going to put this, which will put us up to 14 quarts, and then we'll check the oil, and I'm sure we're going to have to put the other quart in there, but I just want to go ahead, play it safe, add it little by little until we get it pretty much perfect, and then we can crank it up, drive it, whatever, and then go from there, just to ensure it's absolutely perfect, spot on, the correct amount. It's right at the maximum line. Now, equally as important as fresh oil is fresh air, so we're going to go ahead and check our air filter and most likely replace it. So to do that, we got to take a couple things apart. So for starters, let's go ahead and let the pressure out of here. Grab this guy. Work that off. Unplug our little reader down here. Unplug our mass airflow sensor. And then a flat head for this clamp up top. And lift all this up out of the way. Just don't break any of your tabs. Actually, just go ahead and remove this because I don't want to break it. And pull this guy up out of the way. I already hear leaves falling out. Let's go ahead and pop her loose, see what we got. Oh yeah, she is dirty. Yikes, yeah. Definitely a good thing to replace. I picked up a genuine Ford replacement filter. As you can tell by the coloration, this one is extremely dirty, so it's a super good thing that we're replacing this today. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this guy down into place and make sure it seals properly. We don't want it pulling air from in front of the filter. That, and then throw this guy on this end. Lock her down, throw it back in the truck. If you look right there, we can see our spoolie boy. Bolt everything back up. Let's plug that guy back up. Stick this one back in here. All the way down. Plug it back up. Make sure your tube is tucked down, locked in. Put that back in location. Tighten this guy down and we're done. I'll tell y'all what, I do not mind one bit when the FedEx man interrupts filming when we got a package coming from Nitto. It's gonna be from the pit crew. And I am stoked for what we got. Maybe not the correct weather, but nonetheless, holy crap. All right, starting out, we got a little Nitto Recon Grappler AT hat. We got a freaking insane jacket, dude. Look at this thing. I'm already ready for wintertime just to freaking wear this. We got us a shirt, Recon Grappler. We got cats fighting in the background. We got a beanie. And we got a freaking sick backpack. Oh my gosh, Knox is gonna be so stoked. This is insane. Huge shout out, Nitto Pit Crew, Nitto Tire. Y'all the best, it's insane. Admittedly, I do kind of like the dog sticker, but we all know it's gonna look cleaner without, so I'm gonna hit it with a razor blade and catch up with y'all after. Now we're talking. That looks so much cleaner. Got to get some tint on this thing ASAP. But let's go ahead, see if our Daytona will pick this thing up. Check our suspension. Now this side has had the ball joints replaced this past year. You can actually see from underneath the truck. But we're going to go ahead and just see if there's any play in our steering, in our ball joints. That is rock solid. That's awesome. This side did not get the ball joints replaced, but it is solid as a rock. Awesome. Our grid heater wire is just dangling here, so we're going to go ahead, push the tab back in there, and zip tie it out of the way so it doesn't get snagged on anything, and it's going to look a lot better not seeing it as well. Another thing that I noticed while I was under here is our fog lights are not plugged in. I do not see the wire for them anywhere, but they definitely came factory on this truck, so I'm not quite sure where that wire has gone. I'd pretty much be willing to bet that that steering stabilizer is the factory one, so we're definitely going to look into upgrading that. But just taking a peek around, everything is pretty dry aside from right here on our pitman arm. That guy is pretty damp, so we'll probably look into replacing that. You know, a little oil here and there, but nothing dripping, nothing looking too bad. So I think up front, aside from us also wanting to replace the shocks, we're done. Taking a peek at the rear of the truck, and everything is also pretty dry. A little bit of dampness right there at the front of the chunk. Got some rubbing going on right there, but everything looking pretty freaking good, boys. So if you have a 6-liter as well, you're going to want to replace your 2 fuel filters. You have one in the engine bay and one down on the frame rail. Both of these have been replaced within the past year when he got the ball joints and the brakes done. So I'm going to leave those be, but if you don't have any clue about them, probably a good idea to go ahead and swap them out. So we are leaving the FX4 off-road stickers on there for now, but definitely comment and let me know if you think we should take those off. However, we are taking off this Long Lewis Hoover, Alabama sticker, which is probably, it's 100% original from the dealership, because this truck was originally purchased at Long Lewis in Hoover, which is my local dealership. So pretty cool that this truck spent its entire life right here near me. Nothing quite like peeling off a 20-year-old sticker. It's got to be a little CC bike. He just runs it up real high RPM in one gear. But I've seen him out there on the road. He's not going very fast. Sounds like he is, but he ain't. Now we're gonna go ahead and check our transmission fluid, make sure it's at the right level, and give it the old sniff test. To do this, we're gonna go ahead and crank the truck up. You might not can see it, but she is perfectly in the middle of the cold line. All right, guys, well, that's gonna be about it for this video. Definitely comment down below some more things that you like to do to your truck when you get one, but I think we got some of the most crucial things knocked out today. Obviously, there's some more things that we could have done, like check the front diff, the rear diff, the transfer case. The reason why I didn't is because we're gonna be replacing those fluids anyways down the road, so not really worth dealing with them unless they're bone dry and then they're gonna explode, and we should have checked them. Either way, oil change, done. Trans fluid, proper. Smelling good, looking good. We found out that we need a new sway bar bushing. We need to figure out what's going on with the fog lights. But underneath, she's looking good. Engine bay, she's looking good. Looks so much better without the stickers on the back glass and the tailgate. And I am excited for parts to start showing up. We do have new wheels and tires coming, and it's going to completely change the entire attitude of this thing. Hopefully 2 to 4 weeks they will be in. I think before that and the exhaust, we got to tackle the fishbowl, because that is rough. That's bad. But yeah, I'm loving good old gamble right now. 6-liter content. Hopefully y'all are enjoying it as well. With that said, be sure to subscribe if you're new, leave a like, drop a comment, ring that bell notification, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Also, I forgot to mention, but if you do your own oil changes, it's a good idea to go into your owner's manual, flip to the back, write down the date, the mileage, what oil you used, and that way you can get on a proper schedule. I'm about to do that myself, but I just looked up here, and the last time this was at a oil change place was 2018, 102,000 miles on her. She got an oil change, but obviously he's been changing them himself or getting a local guy to do it, his neighbor, whatever the case. Either way, we are good to go.